Once a good-looking girl, the daughter of a well-off country folk, who was much loved by an honest young fellow named John. He courted her for a long time, and at last got her and her parents to consent to his marrying her, which was to come off in a few weeks' time. One day, as the girl's father was working in his garden, he sat down to rest himself by the wall, and looking in and seeing how deep it was, he fell a-thinking. If Jane had a child, he said to himself, who knows but that one day it might play about here and fall in and be killed? The thought of such a thing filled him with sorrow, and he sat crying into the well for some time until his wife came to him. "What's the matter?" she asked. "What are you crying for?" Then the man told her his thoughts. "If Jane marries and has a child," said he, "who knows but it might play about here and someday fall into the well and be killed." "Alack," cried the woman, "I never thought of that before. It is indeed possible." So she sat down and wept with her husband. As neither of them came to the house, the daughter shortly came looking for them, and when she found them sitting crying into the well, "What's the matter?" she asked. "Why do you weep?" So her father told her of the thought that had struck him. "Yes," she said, "it might happen." So she too sat down with her father and mother and wept into the well. They had sat there for a good while when John came to them. "What has made you so sad?" he asked. So the father told him what had occurred, and said that he should be afraid to let him have his daughter, seeing her child might fall into the well. "You three are fools," said the young man when he had heard him to an end, and leaving them, he thought over whether he should try to get Jane for his wife or not. At length, he decided that he would marry her if he could find 3 people more foolish than her and her father and mother. He put on his boots and went out. "I will walk till I wear these boots out," he said, "and if I find 3 more foolish people before I am barefoot, I will marry her." So he went on and walked very far till he came to a barn, at the door of which stood a man with a shovel in his hands. He seemed to be working very hard, shoveling the air at the door. "What are you doing?" asked John. "I am shoveling in the sunbeams," replied the man, "to ripen the corn." "Why don't you have the corn out in the sun for it to ripen it?" asked John. "Good," said the man. "Why, I have never thought of that." "Good luck to you. You have saved me many a weary day's work." "That's fool number 1, said John, and went on. He travelled a long way, until one day he came to a cottage. Against the wall of it was placed a ladder, and a man was trying to pull a cow up by means of a rope, one end of which was around the cow's neck. "What are you about?" asked John. "Why," replied the man, "I want the cow up on the roof to eat off all the fine tuft of grass you see growing there." "Why don't you cut the grass and give it to the cow?" asked John. "Why now, I never thought of that," answered the man. "So I will, of course, and many thanks, for many a good cow have I killed trying to get it up there." "That's fool number 2, John said to himself. He walked a long way, thinking there were more fools in the world than he had thought, and wondering what would be the next one he should meet. He had to wait a long time, however, and to walk very far, and his boots were almost worn out before he found another. One day, however, he came to a field in the middle of which he saw a pair of trousers standing up, being held up by sticks, and a man was running about them and jumping over and over them. "Hello!" cried John. "What are you about?" "Why," said the man, "what need is there to ask? Don't you see, I want to get the trousers on." So saying, he took 2 or 3 more runs and jumps, but always jumped either to this side or that of the trousers?" "Why don't you take the trousers and draw them on?" asked John. "Good," said the man. "Why, I never thought of it." "Many thanks. I only wish you had come before, for I have lost a great deal of time trying to jump into them." "That," said John, "is full number 3. So as his boots were not quite yet worn out, he returned to his home and went again to ask Jane of her father and mother. At last they gave her to him, and they lived very happily together, for John had a rail put around the well, and the child did not fall into it.